There are whiskeys you save for special occasions, and then there's those other whiskeys, those everyday drinkers that are sure to satisfy a craving anytime you want. My name's Matt, I'm the whiskey nerd, and this week I'm going to be talking about 5 of those kind of whiskeys. 5 whiskeys I think you should have on your shelf at all times. Last week I talked about whiskeys that were a bit disappointing. Next week I'm going to be talking about whiskeys which I really hope I can find. But this week it's all about those everyday drinkers. Whiskeys that are easy to find, easy to drink, and importantly, easy on the wallet. So while I put together my list, have a think to yourself and let me know down in the comments below what whiskeys you'd have as your 5 everyday whiskeys. First on my list, it's gotta be Jameson Black Barrel. This is a very nice, easy to drink Irish whiskey that does have a good bit of complexity behind it. So what they do with this whiskey that makes it a bit better than the standard Jameson is they take oak barrels that used to hold bourbon in it, and then they char those barrels really heavily to kind of bring them back to life and really transfer some of that oak char flavor into the whiskey. This results in a whiskey that has loads of caramel notes and loads of vanilla notes, but also some nice spicy notes to really complement the sherry influence that's also present in the whiskey. It's just a very nice, easy to drink whiskey, and it's one of those whiskeys I always find myself going back to. If I'm just saying I want a glass of something, I just want to enjoy something very simple, very straightforward, this is where I go to because it's not just easy to enjoy, it's also very tasty. Next up, you know it's coming. It's Wild Turkey 101. This is just a great bourbon. It delivers a whole lot of flavor, a nice bit of proof, and it's very reasonably priced. It's good in a cocktail, it's good as a straight up sipper, and it's good to show people what a good bourbon is. If they've had Jack Daniels, if they've had Jim Beam, if they've had Benchmark, and they're like, I don't really know if I like American whiskeys, you break out the Wild Turkey 101 and they will like it. It's a good whiskey, it has a nice bit of punch behind it, and it's just one of my all-round favorite bourbons. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love making cocktails, and my favorite whiskey for making cocktails is Roe & Co. It comes in at 45% ABV, so it does deliver a nice bit of weight, a nice bit of presence into the cocktail, but it's not going to be overpowering. It's sweet, it has a good whiskey flavor, but it's not going to be overpowering the other ingredients. It's going to be present, you're going to know it's a whiskey cocktail, but it's also just nice and sweet, nice and soft, and very easy to enjoy in a drink. So if you're a person who likes making cocktails, this is definitely one to keep in mind as an everyday whiskey. This next bottle is more of an honourable mention, Nikka from the Barrel. I really like this whiskey. I know it's not a fully Japanese whiskey, I know it's a blend of international whiskies, but it's just a very nice whiskey. I used to live in Japan, and this would be one of those whiskies which I just have on my shelf, which I would just drink, I'd enjoy. It's a very nice whiskey, comes in at 51.4%, so it has a nice bit of weight, and until recently it wasn't very expensive, so it's not going on my everyday whiskey list just because it's not very friendly to the pocket. It's actually gotten quite expensive, at least over here in Ireland. If you can find it as a normal price at the recommended retail price where you are, absolutely pick it up. It's a very nice whiskey, but until it comes back down in price, for me, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to save this bottle because it's just not gonna be on my everyday drinker list. Next up is a scotch, which I generally don't give enough love to on the channel, Monkey Shoulder. This is a very nice, easy sipping Scotch whiskey. When most people think Scotch whiskies, they think of like an Islay Scotch. They think of a really peat monster of a Scotch. Monkey Shoulder though is not that kind of whiskey. It's a very nice, approachable whiskey. Yeah, there's a little bit of smoke or something in the background, but this whiskey leads with honey, leads with maltiness, and it's just a very easy sipper of a whiskey. If you're trying to get into Scotch whiskies, generally speaking, you should start off with the Speyside region of Scotch, where they make kind of softer, fruitier, less smoky whiskies, and this is a blend of Speyside whiskies. It's just a very nice, easy sipping whiskey, and it's absolutely one of my everyday whiskies, even though I don't give it all that much love here on the channel. And last up, it's Teeling whiskey, specifically the small batch Teeling whiskey. This is a very nice Irish whiskey. It's a blended whiskey, so malt and grain whiskey, but they finished it for at least 6 months in rum casks, which gives it this new dimension, a nice extra bit of richness, bit of flavour, kind of different to most other Irish whiskies on the market. It also comes in at 46% ABV, so it has a nice bit of weight, and if you do want to use it in a cocktail, it will deliver a lot of flavour. It's just all in all a very good whiskey, very easy to enjoy, and definitely one to keep on your shelf. So there you have it, 5 everyday whiskies and 1 whiskey I wish could be an everyday whiskey. They're all easy to find, easy to drink, and importantly, easy on the pocket. So let me know down in the comments below, what are your everyday whiskeys that fit those 3 categories. Like I said, I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd. If you like what I'm doing here, maybe you'll hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Sláinte.